Hey, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today I'm sitting in a 2020 GMC Sierra Denali in the 3500 package with the dualies in the back. So this is the big heavy towing machine from GMC. This is definitely an HD truck. It drives like one, it feels like one, and it works like one. So with this truck, you have a little over 6,000 pounds for your cargo and a little over 31,000 pounds for your towing. This is, like I said, a seriously heavy-duty truck. In the Denali package, has everything you can name that you might want to want. Everything you might want to want. That's awesome. I will point out the extra towing package for gooseneck and fifth wheel. That is an add-on, costs you about 550 bucks, pretty cheap. Does not come with the fifth wheel. The fifth wheel is an extra. Most people buy those aftermarket anyway, but the setup to receive it is 550 bucks. You can get a gooseneck ball and all of that, and there you go. The towing package, as far as I know with this, it is 100% standard, the heavy tow bar in the back, so that bumper puller underneath the bumper, that is standard as far as I know with this, and so are a whole bunch of other things in the Denali package. They are standard. This has the improved rear gear ratio. Wow, that's really hard to say. 3.41. That's what improves the towing a little bit. I will point out that if you drive around empty in a truck like this, you're gonna bounce around a lot. This is not a truck made for driving around empty. This is a truck made to haul things, and if you're not hauling things, you pay a price. That price is you bounce a lot. So there you go. Good to know, right? All right. So this is the interior. Want to look at the interior here and what's going on inside this truck. Again, almost everything in here is standard to the Denali. That includes the clearance lights and their controls, and a few other things that are kind of neat. I'll show them to you. Hey, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today's review is brought to you by Stop Soldier Suicide. Find the link below, click, and donate. Appreciate it. So starting out over here, the lighting's not the best, but this is a giant truck. It's really hard to find a good spot where I have good lighting at any time of day in this truck, outside of just filming in the dark and setting up a whole lot of my own lights, which is not going to happen because you know what my production values are. All right. Anybody got a count so far on how many I've had? All right. So over here we got the locks. Here's the handle. Here's the there's three things going on here. So here's the seat memories right there. That's how you set them. This is to turn off the rear seat reminder. This is now a standard feature in all GMC and, as far as I know, Chevy vehicles, so that if you open the back door for any reason before you drive away, it remembers that and it will alert you to say, hey, there's probably something in the back seat, you should check on it. If you push this after getting in the truck, it shuts off that reminder. There will be a pop-up on the screen up there that will tell you that there will be a reminder to remind you of the reminder. Wow, this is kind of a Mike Rowe moment. Anyway, over here you got your side mirrors and stuff. This extends them out. This folds them in, so they are electronically folding. I believe in my review I said that wrong, and I said that they are not. That's because I lied. I'll have to edit that out. Anyway, this extends them for your trailering purposes. This locks the windows. All the windows in the front are automatic up and down. In the back, not so much. And then I'll show you something cool later that's also cool for the windows. We'll work up instead of down this time on our what's going on underneath. So way right here, this is the hood release right there. Here's your parking brake. You push it to set it or push it to release it, depending on whether or not it's already set. Up here you got a whole bunch of stuff that's important to know. So we'll start at the bottom because the lighting is the easiest. So lighting right here, you can see it, there's auto and so on right there, right? So that's pretty straightforward. You just rotate it around to what you want the lights to be doing. You can turn them all the way on, force them on or off right here. Mostly you're forcing them off. This forces them on. There you go. Here's the cargo light. Right here is your, point the camera in the right direction. There we go. Here's the cargo light. So this is the light dimmer. All right, so here's your cargo light. This dims the front lights. Up here is the fog lamps. Dimmer for the instrument cluster, also does the infotainment screen, just an FYI. Up here is trailering and 4x4 switching. So transfer case controls right here. This is auto, which I've used and like. It works kind of like all-wheel drive. It kicks in 4-wheel drive when it feels like it needs it, doesn't when it doesn't need it. In most pickup trucks, this is useful now, but normally driving around in decent weather, especially with these dualies, I've just been leaving it in 2-wheel drive because you really aren't going to need 4-wheel drive, so there's no point in having it engage. 4 high, 4 low. 4 high you can switch on the fly. 4 low you do need to be at stopped, basically. Or it just won't happen and it'll just sit in 4 high and do nothing. Up here is your trailering controls, so you can see your modes. So you do it like this. That turns on trailering mode. Over here you can turn from drive modes. So you have basically 2 choices. You have normal and off-road. Those are your only 2 choices for drive modes. So most of the time you're just going to be using it to engage trailer mode right there. First of the vents. Always got to point those out. A vent, right? Because you've never seen a vent before. Okay. Over here, we got our cruise control stuff. So you can see pretty basic and straightforward. You turn it on here, you turn it off right there, or cancel it. Here's set and resume, right? So you toggle this up and down for set and resume. Over here is your distance settings for adaptive cruise, which of course, like all these systems, adapts, to the speed you're going. So if you're going, say, 65 miles an hour, the gap between vehicles is relative. So if you have it at the shortest setting, it will be shorter at 65 than it will be at, say, 80. Down here is steering wheel heat. They had to put it somewhere that probably seemed like as good a place as any. Over here is your infotainment and driver information screen controls. So here you can see you got voice control. Voice control works pretty good in here. It's a little tedious, but it does work. Down here is your, calling it telematics, because it sounds really cool, but it's just the telephone. Up and down right here. So this mostly is controlling that screen right there. So you're going up and down through menus, back and forth through major menus like that, right? I'll show you more of those in a minute. Up and down to select specific things in those menus, push it to select OK, whatever you want to call that. And that's about it for that. Over here you got some signal turns going up and down. You can see the automatic high beams and headlights. Actually, automatic high beams, because the headlights are over there. Automatic high beams right here, it's a push button. Over here you twist this for the wipers, right? You can see I just ran them. The shade gave me away. You can set the sensitivity by how far you twist it. Right here's the squirters. You got to push that to get them back and forth for your brights. Now, see if I can do this without a whole lot of glare. There we go. That's a pretty good angle right there. All right. Over here you got a tachometer. I keep getting this this tire warning light. We've had extreme fluctuations in weather. So we've had 60-degree days. We had snow for a couple of days, and then we've had these low, like 20-degree overnights and stuff, and it's really wreaking havoc. There's one tire, the front right, that is chronically low anyway, and it's, you know, that's not it's not a problem with the truck. It's not the truck. It's just happening. So, you know, it's one of those things. Just time of year. That's all I can say. It's that time of year. So over here you got speedometer. Down there you can see what gear you're in. The gear shift is this big old heavy thing right here. And then you can see you have manual shifting if you really want to use it. Useful on the downhill. I'll show you some other stuff for that too. Up here, some gauges. Down here is some other stuff. Now, those gauges don't really change that much. You can see I have it in 4 auto up on the top, and now you can see I'm in 2-wheel drive. That's what that looks like anyway. And let's see. So back and forth through these menus. A few quick things. Here's, you know, your mapping. Here's your phone, etc. And go back. And what I was looking at was the information screen. Here's the home screen, which I use a lot because, of course, it has a digital speedometer, and I like those. So that's mostly what's going on here. There are a lot of things to go through if you want to go through these screens, especially this one on the info, right? Shows you what you're doing. But nicely done. I really like this setup. It's pretty and it's quick and it works really well. Now, over here. Down there's where your push button start is. Up here is infotainment. I love the infotainment in this. Most Chevy products have really good infotainment. This is no exception. GM products. Most GM products. I gotta get the branding correct. Anyway, fast, works really well, highly useful, does a lot of good things. So Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, standard in this. So is a Wi-Fi hotspot. You do have to pay the subscription to run it, but there you go. And a few other things here. Mostly what I want to show you though is Marketplace. That's a fun one. So you can go in here, you can buy things like Dunkin' Donuts and whatever, and then go through the drive-through, right? It's really cool. I'm not going to wait for it to load. I just wanted to show it to you. My GMC is also useful. You have a lot of things you can set and change and fool with. Apps are okay. Trailering, definitely something you need to be familiar with if you're using this truck. So you can do a lot of stuff. Trailer detection, maintenance alerts, theft alerts. So you can set your trailer in here, set it up, and then you can keep track of that trailer basically in here. Also do things like preset for camera angles and other stuff. Really cool. I really like this system. It pays to get used to it and learn how to use it. Very much worth it. Now moving on, here is audio control right there. So you have your mute by turning it like that, and if you hold it down it turns this all the way off. This is volume right here. This sets the channels and whatnots. Here's back and forth to jump them. Here's the home screen up there just in case you need a hard button for it. Back button right there. Down here you have your HVAC, right? So settings here, it is dual. So you set the temperature there, you turn it on and off right here. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to point everything out. Heating, you have back heating only, back end buns here, cooling right there, same for the passenger over there. All of these are useful. Going downhill with a load, engine brake, nice. Exhaust brake technically, but you know, Jake brake, whatever you want to call it. Over here is your lane keeping, your parking sensors. You can manually turn those on and off right here. I will point out when you have a trailer on, the rear parking sensors automatically shut off on the truck. This drops the tailgate. It's a soft drop, so it doesn't go like clunk, but there you go. Duke's lights right there, traction control right there. This turns the 115 outlet on and off. This lowers all the windows in the truck. So all 4 windows go down when you push this. Really cool. It does not put them back up though. Kind of a dumb bummer. Over here is your trailer brake controls. Pretty straightforward. USB-C, USB-A, 12 volt right there. Aforementioned 115 right there. And then just some nice setups. So this has the wireless charging pad, good storage right here. Nice stuff just around. I like the way I like these drink holders. They work really well. Here's a good spot for your phone. Oh, I didn't notice there was a Monroney in there. There's some paperwork I probably need to keep in as well. Anyway, nice big storage bin. More USBs right there. Really well done. And then just the look of it. There's a proper glove box there, other glove box there, and just the usual GMC blockiness, but it works really well in a truck, and it just feels good. Back seats are huge. You have those right there. They open up and there's storage behind them a little bit. Not a whole lot, but enough. Just a nicely done package. Really, really good. I really like it. So I've had a good time in this truck. This has been a smart truck. You may or may not have seen somebody walking behind me. That's the guy coming to get this truck. He's wanting to know why I'm still sitting in it. So that's what I got. This has been Aaron on autos.com, in the 2020 GMC Sierra 3500 in the Denali package. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.